If you're a chocolate lover, then Nyam Nyam has the perfect recipe compilation video for you. Keep watching and we'll show you how to make loads of different variations of chocolate mousse, chocolate cake with gorgeous leaf design on top, and chocolate M&M waterfall cake. Ooh, how exciting. So, let's get started. Chocolate lovers ahoy! We're going to show you how to make chocolate Earl mousse cake. That's right, it's got Earl Grey tea in it. Chocolate mousse with a twist. But it's also a cake, so if you like mousse and you like cake, then this is the perfect combination. You can experiment with tea bags. The great thing is, it's really easy to make. You just boil some milk and dunk your tea bags in it. Just soak them for a while to get the flavour out. And you can use any tea bags. It doesn't have to be Earl Grey. It could be Darjeeling or perhaps just ordinary black tea. It could also be herbal tea, perhaps turmeric tea or something exciting. Maybe in the summertime you could use fruit teas. That would be very interesting. Perhaps a summer fruit, strawberry and raspberry tea bags. Imagine strawberry and raspberry chocolate mousse cake. Very nice. Now we have added some condensed milk to this, which we know is super sweet. Perhaps you could get unsweetened. So we're using cocoa powder and chocolate for this recipe. Now, depending on how healthy you would like your mousse cake to be, you could use any kind of chocolate, but I recommend using super dark chocolate. The darker the better. Why? Because it has all sorts of health benefits. Did you know that cocoa powder packs just as much chocolatey goodness in addition to several other vitamins and minerals as dark chocolate? It's full of flavonoids and components like iron and manganese, which help to improve the function of red blood cells. That's right, chocolate can be good for your health, depending on which type you use. Studies have also shown that chocolate can improve your mood. And if you don't want to use too much sugar, you can use half the amount that the recipe says and it will still taste perfect. There are always healthy options as well. You could use honey or natural sweeteners like stevia or agave nectar. When you heat cocoa or dark chocolate, it can lose some of its health benefits. So we recommend, if you're all for healthy options, to just add it in as late as possible. And by sprinkling all that cocoa powder over the top of your mousse cake, it's raw, so you're going to get all the benefits from that because it's not cooked at all. So we've made a kind of semi-chocolate log here. It's nice and easy to slice, super soft and delicious. What more could you want? Next up, we're going to show you how to make chocolate mousse brownie. Ooh, fantastic. I love brownies, especially the super dark, rich chocolatey ones which have a little crust on the top. And we're going to make this with mousse on top. Gorgeous layer of silky, smooth, soft mousse on top of that delicious brownie. Very easy to make your chocolate brownie mix. In fact, you can also buy it pre-made from the store if you want to cheat. I always like to make things fresh myself because that way I can control how much sugar and various other ingredients I add to it. You can make things to your liking or to your dietary requirement. Now, if you're not a chocolate lover, or let's say chocolate is something that you are unable to eat or can't eat too much of, then you can try alternatives such as carob. Carob is derived from a pod plant grown in mostly tropical climates. It's similar to cocoa powder, however, carob has a different texture and taste than chocolate. It's been described as a lot sweeter actually, and more mild. Also, it has fewer calories and sugar than chocolate, and it doesn't have that added caffeine that sometimes gets linked to headaches. So if you're cutting down on your caffeine like I am, then carob is a very good alternative to chocolate. The great thing is it can be processed in the same way as cocoa beans. Now we're adding whipping cream to this recipe to make our mousse, but the thing is, if you want a dairy-free alternative, then there are always options. You can also make allergy-free coconut whipped cream. You just need to chill your coconut milk to the point where the cream separates from the watery part, and when it's super cold and in a cold bowl, you add some sugar and vanilla extract. Whisk it up, and there you have it. Another very interesting alternative to whipped cream is cashew whipped cream. Just get some raw, unsalted cashew nuts, some white grape juice and vanilla extract, and then stick them in a blender for a few minutes. The result is this fantastically creamy mousse on top of your very easy chocolate chip filled chocolate brownie. Once you start with this, you're not going to be able to stop. And if you top it all off with a bit of fruit, it would be perfect for a summer's day. Delicious! What's not to love? Next up, we're going to show you how to make a show-stopping cake. It's a gravity-defying M&M cake. It's going to look so cool. You're going to have a waterfall of M&Ms falling into a chocolate cake-topped pool. For this recipe, you can just buy a chocolate cake from the supermarket, slice off the top to make it flat and then slice it up, maybe get a couple of cakes if you want it to be taller, and then layer it with chocolate ganache in between each layer. Stick some Kit Kats all around the edge to form a lovely fence, and you've got room for your swimming pool in the middle. Then you just get a long wooden stick, maybe a chopstick, coat it in chocolate ganache and cover it with M&Ms, and then pour bucket loads of them in, and that's it. So easy to make and brilliant. Just perfect for your kid's birthday party. And if you check out some of our other videos, you'll see even more fantastic ideas to turn a very basic cake into a fantastic party piece. Next up, we're going to show you how to make our favourite Kinder Cup. That's right, it's based on the Kinder chocolate bar. We all know that kids love a Kinder, so why not make this gorgeous chocolate pudding with it? Just get some whipped cream and then mash up some Kinder chocolate into your whipped cream for some nice little crunchy bits. We're going to make this into a gorgeous layered mousse by adding different amounts of cocoa powder or alternatives like Nutella or chocolate spread from the supermarket. You can buy Supermarket's own brand, which is actually cheaper than Nutella, and you just whisk it into your cream. The amount you put in is going to change the colour of the mousse, make it more chocolatey or less chocolatey. You can also melt chocolate into it, super dark chocolate, or if it's for the kids, perhaps something that's not got too much cocoa powder in it, because we don't want them to be up all night, do we? This is quite a fun one to make. You just pipe on your mousse layers into a glass. You can even add sprinkles of cocoa powder or little chocolate flakes in between each layer if you want to add another little hidden treasure in there. Think about it, what could you add? Perhaps layers of plain cream as well. Even cream cheese if you wanted to make it into a more cheesecakey mousse dessert. Using melted dark chocolate in these recipes is a really great alternative to using cocoa powder. Quite often it's easier to use staple things that you just have in your cupboard, and I'm sure that most of us have a jar of Nutella or chocolate spread somewhere, especially if you've got kids. I'm sure they'd love to join in, piping on layer after layer of chocolatey mousse. For these mousse recipes, if you don't like to use gelatin, there are vegan alternatives like agar powder to thicken up your mousse. You can also use cornstarch. So we fill it almost to the top of the glass, smooth it over with a spoon, sprinkle in that raw cocoa powder on top, sticking in a Kinder Bueno bar for a finishing touch. Who needs a straw when you've got Kinder Bueno bar, eh? Now you've got it. Fantastically easy dessert that small kids and big kids alike are going to love. You can experiment with different types of chocolate. Maybe try a white chocolate mousse. Mix your chocolates up. Make it exciting. Yummy. Next up, we've got the wonderful leaves chocolate cake. We are going to be using real leaves to imprint on our chocolate, so we end up with these gorgeous detailed chocolate leaves imprinted from real leaves. Such a brilliant idea and so easy to do. So you make your basic chocolate cake mixture, or buy a chocolate cake pre-made from the store. How much time do you have, and how fussy are you about the ingredients? Chocolate buttons are fantastically easy to use in recipes because they melt really quickly. You get a little paintbrush and you just paint on your melted chocolate to the leaves. Once they've chilled and set, you just very carefully peel off your leaf and you're left with this gorgeous chocolate leaves. Can you believe how easy that is? And why stop at leaves? Think of other things that you can find around in your natural surroundings that you could easily clean up and use to be creative and artistic with your cooking. And you know, for most of these recipes, you don't have to go and buy expensive ingredients, specific things. You don't have to go and buy expensive tools to make your designs interesting. You have to just be a little bit creative and think, what do you have around you already? What can be used as an alternative? What can you use to make this interesting? So once your chocolate cake's ready, you just pour on your chocolate fudge mixture, let it set, and it's time to decorate. Buttercream icing is good. Using food piping bags, you can use serrated edge nozzles and interesting shaped nozzles to create whichever effect and pattern you want. And then put on your chocolate leaves. It's so beautiful and so easy to do. And if you want, you can always add some white buttercream icing or other colours to it too. Look at that, a work of art! Almost too good to eat. Well, I said almost.